Welcome, everybody. Let's talk about what makes a great trader. Now, there are a gazillion books and videos, and oh my gosh, how to be a great trader, how to make a lot of money, how to this, how to that. But most of it's baloney, okay? It's just someone trying to sell you a product most of the time. That's not always true. Hang on a second, I gotta take a bite of my cookie here this morning and have some coffee. It's Friday, so I splurged. I know it's rude to eat while I'm having a video, but oh well, deal with it. Now, what we got in front of us here is a spreadsheet I created. And this spreadsheet's really important. I think it's going to help illustrate for a lot of people, especially my members. But I know the general public's going to be watching this video too. So, whoever's watching is fine. Which, by the way, if you want to become a member, stick around to the end of this video and I'll show you how to do that. But getting back to the video here, what makes a great trader? This spreadsheet, I'm going to be honest with you. If you just pause the video right here and study this spreadsheet, it'll make you a better trader. Now, I can just hear some people saying right now, oh man, give me a break. Shut up, dude. Shut up, Giddus. That's just not true. You're blowing smoke. How we know even any of these numbers you got up here are even true? You're just putting numbers up there for a video because you want people to clickbait your video. you know the deal, right? Because this is what 99% of people do on YouTube. They just make a video like I'm doing right now and click me, man, click me. Okay, but the truth is, and this can be verified on my Discord server for those members that I have if you join, well, you'll know because I posted it. You'll see my profits on there. But this column right here, this is the column I did this week. This is exactly what I implemented. This spreadsheet is just a spreadsheet I created that helps keep me on track. It's not just about goals, because clearly it's obvious. Some things in here are obvious, like Monday, I made $178.80. This is net profit, meaning after commissions and fees. And then I did it on Tuesday, and then Wednesday made a little less. And Thursday made a little more. And Friday today, which is Friday as I do this video, I made my typical $178.80. Basically, I made $200 minus commissions and fees, okay? And down here, the total for the week is $972.80. And if you extrapolate that out or extend it out for the year, it's about $49,000 a year, okay? And that would be this column that I used this column this whole week. I used this approach, this approach right here this whole week. Now let's talk about it because this spreadsheet is so key. It's such an easy way to keep you on track. And I think a lot of people out there in the world, even other traders, have a misconception of what it is to be a great trader. They think it's hit the lottery. A lot of traders trade like that. Man, I hit the lottery. Well, what do I mean? Well, they had like 3 weeks of little trading or no trading or some moderate losses, and then they have a great day or two of trading. And they might even make a lot of money. But they won't tell you about all the other times they took losses. Okay? This is extremely common. Trust me, I know, because I used to be like that. A lot of people will jump on YouTube and talk about all their profits, but they'll never share their losses because they're too afraid, because it bruises their ego. But this spreadsheet right here, as I slowly developed over the last probably 10 years, I've been trading a long time, 30 plus 40 years. But over the last 10 years, excuse me, I really honed my craft and became a much better trader. I'm not going to dive into everything in this video about that long process on all that it includes, but the members who pay a measly little $7.99, that's right, $7.99 a month to be a member, they have at least some understanding about how I go about things because I have streaming charts for them, and I use the exact same streaming charts that they get to see. I do that for the S&P 500. I do for gold and there's other things involved that I used to help make trades that are part of me doing this right here in this column. Okay. But let's talk about this particular spreadsheet and why this is so key. And so I don't want to call it simple, but if you, like I said, if you just pause this video and study this spreadsheet, you'll begin to understand what's going on. And you'll begin to understand what it takes to be a great trader. See, a lot of people think great trading means just make a lot of money. And usually they mean make a lot of money over a short amount of time. And that automatically qualifies you as a great trader. And I'm here to tell you that's only one way that you could possibly identify someone as a great trader. But the real way to identify a great trader is they're making probably the most realistic way to identify a great trader is they're consistently making money over long periods of time. Okay, that's the real truth. That's what makes a great trader. Okay, there are always going to be exceptions and outliers where people do phenomenal stuff. They make millions of dollars a year, whatever. That's great. I'm not knocking that. But I'm talking to the average retail trader right here. Okay. So let's go over the spreadsheet and then I'll talk about a smaller version of even this that's going to help some really, really small retail account holders that I share with my members today. So what's so good about this spreadsheet? Well, first of all, the basics here are that I'll keep track of my profits every day. So in other words, I have a goal. And I told my members I think it was early this week, last Friday or this Monday, past Monday, I said, I have a goal. It's $1,000 this week, which means I have to make $200 a day. If I just parse it out, right? 200 times 5 is 1,000. Well, I got pretty close to that goal. I made $972.80 for the week. So I have a goal, right? I didn't just say I have a $1,000 goal this week and I'll get to it sometime this week. No, your goal may be different. Your goal may be $10,000 a week. Your goal may be $100 this week, $50 this week, whatever it is. Okay, but you should set goals. And I put a video out 2 days ago, I think, on this exact topic. You should have goals. Okay, so anyway, just briefly, that's what you see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday here was my goals, and I reached them. I obtained my goal every day. And you can see, as I talked about, if I total up the week, I get $972.80, and if I total up the year, it's almost $49,000. Let's talk about the top here. What does market mean? I guess I should really call this like market condition, maybe. Okay, what is the current market condition? What's going on in the market? Is it a very, are there big movements going on in the market? Now I'm trading this symbol here, the ES. These are futures for those that want to know. That's the futures in the S&P 500. Okay. But what is the current market condition? Approximately around this time, this week, what's going on? Well, it's been a very tight week. I don't think I'm going to share charts in this video, but this week's been a tight week. The ranges have been pretty small, except for yesterday. Thursday was a big 94 range day. That was the only day this week we had a big range day. And today I'm looking over at the charts across the office here at my streaming charts, and it's a pretty decent range today too. It's a green day. Okay. So that's what that this row, I should say, means. What is the current market condition? Now, why is that a big deal? You need to have a feel for the market. What's it doing? It's true that sometimes market, it can be very volatile, up and down. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. But when you have a tight range days, like we've been having, I call that small range. The market condition is small range. Now, this isn't like, you don't want to be overly dogmatic. This is just generally speaking. This week, for the most part, except for one day, has been a tight range day. So I'll call that small range. That's the market condition for the week, or at least the few days. Okay, and you have to spend a little time looking at the charts to recognize that. All right. If you look to the right, going to column C, there could be, the market could have medium range. That might be like for the futures, that might be like a 40, 50, 60 points, because we deal in points in futures. Okay. There might be 40, 50, 60 points of range. That would be like medium range. And then bigly, I like this word bigly because it really upsets a lot of people on the left. And then bigly range, that's a chuckle, man. Sometimes you gotta laugh, guys. Bigly range would be, a day where, I don't know, 65 or greater range. And you're getting a few of those sprinkled in throughout the week, so you got a pretty sizable week. That would be bigly range. Okay. All right. So that's what market condition is. Now, why is that a big deal? Because depending on what the market's doing, I'm going to trade the rest of these attributes. I'm going to trade using, if you will, it's going to help guide me on how I'm going to approach the market. And this is really, really important. We're talking about what it takes to be a great trader. This is really important. A lot of people totally miss this. Okay, you can see my position size didn't change because there are other ways to manage risk. I'm not doing it through position size. You're going to see here in a moment how I'm doing it. You can do it. I've talked about this before as well. I'm not going to cover it too much in this video, but the most common way people deal with, one of the biggest ways they deal with risk management is they adjust their position size. But you can see here, I'm not doing that. Regardless of whether I have small range, medium range, or bigly range, my position size is staying the same. That's different. All right, it's a little bit different approach, but it doesn't make it any less viable because we're talking about what does it take to be a great trader. Okay, so position size stays the same, regardless of what kind of market condition we have. Let's talk about range. Now, this is different than market range. This is specifically the range, and I should call this, I guess I'll call this position range, so it's a little more obvious. Position range. What kind of range am I attempting to achieve while I hold to position? In other words, I placed a trade. People call it placing a trade, taking a trade. But really, you're taking a position. You're holding something. It might be shares of a stock. It might be a bond. It might be futures. It might be options, whatever it is. Okay, I'm trading futures here, right? So in this particular case, if I determine that it's small range is the market condition, my position size stays the same. But guess what? I'm only trying to achieve 1 point worth of movement. That's right, that's very small. And for those that know about the S&P 500 and the E-mini, that's just 4 ticks, 4 little ticks. Okay? Now you might think that's crazy. Why would you take such a small position? Stay with me on this. So that would be my desired, that I'm attempting to achieve 1 point worth of movement in my favor, obviously. Now, let's go on to the next one, which is time in the market. Remember, we're just talking about small range, position sizes for small range for the market, you should say. My position size doesn't change, and the amount of range that I'm going to stay in the market is just 1 point. It's very small range. Now, how long am I in the market for? 10 seconds. That's right, you're reading that right. The time in the market, I'm literally in the market less than 10 seconds. Sometimes I'm in the market for like 3, 4, or 5 seconds. I'm in and I'm out, just like that. Just take a couple breaths and I'm done with the trade. I do 1 trade for the day, I'm done. I don't trade for the rest of the day. Now, a lot of people probably think, that's crazy. I'm not trading like that. You're nuts. Nobody trades like that. Blah, blah, blah. Well, that's because, guess what? Most people don't know how to be a great trader. And that's the real truth. And most people are not honest with themselves. And the numbers in front of you on the spreadsheet don't lie, at least for me on my account size and other factors, right? Okay, so far we see that if the market conditions are tight, I'm calling it small range, we can call it tight. I'm going to have a very small objective for my total range, which is 1 point, and my time in the market is usually less than 10 seconds. So what's the risk? The risk for time, anyway, is very low. I'm in the market for 10 seconds. In other words, I'm only exposed to the market for a very brief moment. This is like ultra scalp. Okay? Time for a chunk of chocolate chip cookie and a sip of coffee. Now, what you see highlighted in front of you is exactly what I did this week, every day this week. Okay, so we just extend that down. I already talked about this earlier. And there you go. Am I a happy camper? Who's not going to be happy with nearly $50,000 a year? I mean, come on. Small little profits. You know what they do by the end of the year? They make for bigly, baby. That's just the truth. Small little profits make for bigly. And if this is all I did the whole year, that would make me a great trader. Because it's not just about, you got to get this part. It's not just about how much money I made. It's that I was disciplined, I had goals, I found a way to achieve my goal. That is way more important than all the fluff and puff and the clouds in the sky and all the marshmallows around the campfire BS talk on all these YouTube videos. These guys most of them are full of you know what. They're full of it. Now, some may say, Gittes, are you a professional trader? Well, I trade full time. I probably didn't really tell a lot of people that, but I've been doing that for a little while now. I'm not working. I worked IT for many, many decades, and several attempts to get out of IT and had to go back and forth. But I'm out of it, I think, permanently now, and I'm trading full time, and this is what I'm doing. But guess what happens when you have to trade full time? You cannot be Mickey Mousing around. What do I mean by that? When you're working a full-time job, you have a backup plan. It's called the job, and you have income coming in from the job, your paycheck. When you're trading full-time, you don't have that safety net. And things get real very fast, and you must find a way to be very disciplined, to be goal-oriented. Otherwise, you're going to get chewed up and spit out like, forget about it. You're going to run over. So this spreadsheet keeps me on track. And if you really truly take the time to study the spreadsheet, it'll do it for you too. Now, for those guys and gals out there that are working full-time job, you can still use this spreadsheet. You don't need to necessarily have the goal right now today to go trade full-time. You can still work your full-time job or your part-time job, whatever you're doing, and then trade, right? I did that for decades. Now, did I become a successful trader in my first year of trading, second year, 5 year? No, heck no. I lost a lot of money. Oh my gosh, I was a horrible trader. Horrible trader for a long time. But I give God thanks that we keep pressing forward. There's an old saying, you know what, for some very successful people, how they became successful? They had to go through a lot of failures. I know, no one wants to hear that. And it sounds like a cliche, but it's often true. It's true. Sometimes you got to go through a lot of failures to get to success. Okay. So now let's move on to the next column here. Well, let's try this column right here. This column is, is almost a $70,000 a year column for the way I trade, my account and my position size. What's the difference? There are some differences here, and they're really important to understand that. And you have to look, like I said earlier in the video, you have to look at the market so that you can gauge what the market's doing, and you can determine which one of these columns are you going to do. Now, these dollar amounts may not apply to you. It doesn't really matter. It's not about the amount of money. It's about the approach. It's about the goals and the discipline to stick to what works, to be a great trader. So let's talk about this column C, what I call medium range, or the market it's got a decent amount of volatility, right? So what's changed? Well, the market's a little bit more active, a little more range going on in the market. My position size hasn't changed, but guess what? I've extended my desire, my objective to go for 1.5 points. Okay, let me get to. I'm talking about this right here. It's not 1 anymore. It's 1.5. And that's just 2 more little ticks on the S&P 500 futures. But what difference does it make? It makes a big difference. Huge difference. Okay, let me just get this box out of the way so we don't focus on that. I'll just focus on using my pointer. The difference here is I have to stay in the time of the market longer. And that's, why is it a big deal? 10 seconds. Now, these are just general. I mean, this is me approximating the time of the market. It may not always be exactly this, right? I'm just kind of giving you an approximation. But why is it a big deal? 2 minutes is a big deal. My position, which let's just say this is a big position for my account, I'm exposed to the market for 2 minutes. That's a big deal versus 10 seconds. And yes, a lot of things can happen in 2 minutes. So you have to be really sure the market can support, that you have to really do great analysis that the market really is medium range kind of volatility, so that you can handle being in the market for 2 minutes. Grab your 1.5, and guess what? Cha-ching! You get this. Now, the real truth is some days are going to be this column, some days are going to be this column, and some days, not as many, will be this column. And the real truth is my profit for the year is going to be a combination of these three approaches probably throughout the year. I'll just keep adjusting depending on what the market's doing. If it's tight, I'm over here. If I got decent volatility, which is most days, I'll be here. If it's a really banging couple days, I'm over here. You get it? Now, what's the risk for time? It's still pretty low because 2 minutes is still pretty small. If the market's got a lot of volatility and I feel like I can take on some more range, I go for 2 points. I might have to stay in the market 5 minutes. That's a long time. I know swing traders must be shaking their head. It's not a big deal. But when you're talking about this position size, that's a big deal. For me, it is, for my account size. And the risk is now moderate. Okay. The only reason it's not big risk is because I'm keeping my time small. Okay, so I wanted to share this with not only with the members, but just anybody who's watching this video, okay, because this is how I make consistent profits. Okay, this week was a perfect example of how I took a fairly tight range market for most of the week and just employed this strategy, using these attributes all along the way and sticking to my guns and staying disciplined. Were there opportunities like yesterday at the 95-point range day where I could have made $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000? Oh, heck yeah, I could have. I could have done that. Okay, but to do that, guess what? The risk would no longer be very low. It would have been high, very high, because I would have to stay in the market for like long periods of time with a big position. So some people might say, well, just reduce your position size. Okay, that's fine. That's another way to do it. But that's the classic way to do it. Keep your position size small. And I'm here to tell you there are other ways that you can go about extracting profit out of the market if you know how to do it. And this spreadsheet, now, okay, so I'm about to finish up this video, but we're going to do one more thing here. We're going to take this whole thing, and I'm going to show you how you can do this for a really small retail account. I'll stick it over here. And the only difference is going to be you're going to be trading E-micros instead of E-minis. Okay, you might just do, this might be one. You might be just one, size of one. I already did this a little bit earlier. Okay. And I think this ended up being like $3. This over here ended up being, I think it was $5. Okay. And this ended up being $7. Okay. So look at that. Look at this over here. This is for you. This is for you guys and gals. Okay. That have really small accounts. Okay. I'm talking like you got a $2,500 account, $2,000 account, $3,000 account, whatever. You're somewhere in that area. Maybe even $5,000 account. So, you may look at this and say, $15 for the whole week. Why waste my time? Don't laugh. I used to trade like this. I'm serious. Don't laugh. Before I got to this over here, I traded this over here. That's how I traded. That's literally how I traded. Of course, I had a job and I was supplementing my brokerage account with part of my income. But this is a great training ground for you. You should do this. You should have these kind of goals if you have a really small account. You should be going for $3 a day, $5 a day, $7 a day. I mean, be honest with yourself. For those people that can't make consistent money, you have hit and miss days and you're losing more, you're breaking even, and you're hardly making any money. What's wrong with making $15 this week? Why laugh at that? That's $15 in your pocket. This is after commissions and fees, by the way. I think I got the commissions and fees. Unfortunately, I'm on Schwab, but they're okay. But I think I got these commission fees out of Schwab's not bad for their, well, I'm not going to get into brokers right now, but I think I got these commissions and fees rates off of Tasty Trade. Okay, because they publish their fees really well. So don't laugh about $15 a week if you're doing nothing right now. Or some weeks you make $50, but then the next week you're down, you lost $75. Don't laugh, right? You're in the hole. You know who you are. You don't need to look around the room. There's nobody paying attention to you right now as you watch this video. You know the real truth. You're losing more than you're making, or you're making nothing. So set the goal. Just keep it right here. No matter what the market's doing. Just start with this. Just trade one E-micro. Look for 1 point, stay in the market for 10 seconds. The risk is extremely low. Make you $3. Don't do any other trading for the whole day. Most people can't do it. They just, look, I did it over here. I literally did not trade but one. The only day I traded 2 trades was this one because I screwed up. Every other day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I only did 1 trade. And you should too. Because if you're doing this stuff down here, hit and miss, or not making any money at all, then you need to learn how to do it. So just start it. Have a goal, go for it. You want to become an excellent trader? What makes a great trader? And you have a small retail account? Here you are. This is it. Oh, Dennis, I want to trade options. You just don't understand. I'm going for my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And I hit it 1 out of 10 times. 1 of 10 times I get it, dude. I do. Like last month I made, I don't know, whatever. I'll throw $500 on here. I made $500. You should have seen it. What have you done since then? Well, I lost 80. Then I lost 55. You follow what I mean, guys and gals, right? Oh, then I don't want to talk about this one, but I lost a 250. So you gobbled all this 500 up. You're still going around with your little pom-pom parades about that one trade you made 3 weeks ago, how great it was, but you're not honest about all this garbage you're doing over here and all the losses you're taking. I mean, come on, man. You got to get real. That's part of what makes a great trader. Honesty with yourself. Looking in the mirror and go, man, I'm sucking here. Totally suck. Okay, but let me tell you something right now. That number right there, 48K, 49K a year, that does not suck. That's great. And for you, if $750 this year is where you're going to be, that doesn't suck. That's great. Okay, that's the end of this video. I hope you all really enjoyed it. This spreadsheet, I don't want to say guarantee, but this spreadsheet, I'm confident will help a lot of people become great traders if you just take the time to study it and truly understand what it takes to be a great trader. You can't be screwing around and messing around. You have to have goals. You have to be disciplined. Do 1 trade a day. Resist the temptation to do any more trading. Just take it easy. Don't worry about what other people say they're doing. You be different. Be a winner, not a whiner. If you want to become a member, stick around to the very end. Everybody else, hope you really enjoyed this video. All right, if you want to become a member, that's great. There is a discord.com link. Let me get the right color here. A discord.com link in the description, and I'll also put it as the first comment in this video. Make sure you read the instructions really carefully, okay? Once you've done that, click on the link. It's going to bring you to get a server. Then click on server shop. It's going to bring you to this page right here. $7.99 a month, guys and gals. I mean, come on. It's a great deal. The streaming charts are down here. You can click on those and watch the streaming charts. When you join, just ask me in the member chat, hey, get us, where is the streaming charts for gold? I'll give you that as well. There's alerts for gold in the S&P 500, so really nice. They go along with the streaming charts. There's premium symbols I put in there Monday through Thursday. You can look at those. And the Get Us Only post, I put the daily video in there every day, Monday through Thursday, so you can watch the video right in there. Nightly email goes out every night, so when you join, you put your email in there, and you'll get the nightly email. Okay, really awesome. For $7.99, guys, you can't beat this deal, okay? So take advantage of what you can. The market's been pretty awesome, both in S&P 500 and gold. And I might, maybe, just maybe in the future, start trading crude oil, but I haven't made my mind up about that just yet. All right? So that's it for now, guys and gals. Hope everybody had an awesome day. Today is Friday. I've done my one trade, as you already saw in this video for today. I did my trade. I'm happy. I didn't trade anything else today. When my one trade met my goal. Bingo. Talk to you all real soon again next time.